Everybody, I thought we were ready. Are we ready? It is live, right? Hey, everybody, this is Melinda Cooper. Okay, I'm one of those people that, you tell me go, 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 and then all of a sudden I'll go, is it time? Well, here I am. It's Melinda Cooper. I'm living the dream. I'm here with my good friend, Marion LaSalle, who is owner of Natural Curiosity and who has her own show production. So just be sure to give her that little tid and say, hello, how are you? But in the meantime, I'm here. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad that today we are actually finishing up. I'm doing a quick recap. It's going to be moving real fast, folks. A recap of the month of April, right? Because we covered emails, why they're so important, what kind of emails you can do, how you should put them out there, what you should say, how can you go ahead and make some money off that email. I call it the planting your money tree because you know what? People are right. Money is in the list. Can I say that one more time? Your money is in your list. And the reason I say that is because those, hopefully, the people you have on your email are people that are eager to hear from you. What do you think, Marion?
It's funny because you said, fast, fast, fast April. April was a very interesting month for most people in the world, not just right here in the Texas area, but the whole world. April was very strange. So it either went really fast or it just slowed down to basically nothing. Okay. Depending on your work situation, whether you were considered,
Right. But people don't realize that when you're online or even when you're in a regular, here lately, I've been talking to a lot of people talking about their brick and mortars. Oh my God, Melinda, my brick and mortar. And I'm like, let me tell you something. And I don't care what anybody says. Whether you have a mortar or whether you have online business, you have to have an email list, folks. You have to be able to send out and say, hey, you know what? We're having this special. I have a nail place, a nail salon that I go to, and they even have my text message and they'll say, Melinda, we're having a special, for this, this, and this. You guys can come on in. They even give me discounts on my text messages, right?
We would give just about anything, including our email address, for a free chance to win something. Okay, so I know that in my local restaurant, which I haven't been to in a month, they have a big fishbowl and a piece of paper next to it with a pen. It says, give us your email and your phone number and get a chance to win a free bagel. Okay, just a free bagel.
Right.
But yes, every time I put my information in there. And so I guess it just depends on what it is that you feel that you want to give away. But you can get their email. I swear. All you have to do is offer them the chance to win something.
And let's talk about that real quick. Let's start. You know what? No, let's get back on point. Let's get back to point. The first one is we started the month with you have to know who your audience is. You have to know, because you know what? I can go out there and I could talk about living the dream and becoming entrepreneurs and building your business and building the life you want to work and work the schedules that you have. But if I am talking to the animal shelters, if I'm talking to the truck man who's already on the road, how many years, you know what? They may or may not listen to me because they may already have, this is it. When I get from here, I'm retired, right? So they really may or may not be my audience. But if on the other hand, I'm talking to a woman who, much like I was, who had been working, God knows how many hours at somebody else's business and making it grow for them or doing what I had to do for them. Yes, it paid the bills, but man, it did not pay my soul and it did not pay my creativity. It did not give my family life anything that was really, I'm bringing home the check, baby. I was like, okay, I got paid. Yes. So, every now and then we have to get to that point. So you have to know who you're talking to. You have to. The second thing is that where do they hang out? We covered that. Know who your avatar is. And be sure to know where they hang out, right? If you go on LinkedIn, it's business to business. People want to work directly with you. They want to look, you're at a bigger level, you're at a corporate level, you're at the different kind of things. So those people are going to be looking for something a little bit different than the stuff that you put out on Facebook, stuff that you put out on Twitter, right? All the different things are different. So where do they hang out And where do you hang out? People on Pinterest, I always love it. I have a Pinterest, and I must admit I rarely pay attention to it. But the dilemma is that, you know why? Because I'm not into seeing a lot of pictures of people's animals. I love seeing the fashion, I love seeing the quotes, I love seeing the inspiration, but everybody has something different. So I have to see if that's where I want to be. So know your avatar, know where they hang out, and are you in front of the right crowd? Okay. So that's going to give you the right emails or not as well. Because if you're promoting out there and you're trying to say, hey, would you like an ebook on blowing your nose? Somebody's going to say, no, I don't have any allergies. Right? No, I don't want that. Right? And they're not going to give you your email. Is that right, Marion? What do you think?
I do. I believe that to be true. You need to know who you're talking to before you can give them a gift that they're willing to give up their email address for.
Yes, their sacred email, right? Because I'd hate to tell you how many I unsubscribe to on a regular basis. By the way, let me say that unsubscribe, that when you're ready to have in your email, you have to let them be sure to have the option to unsubscribe. And you know what? Go ahead and put it up there loud and proud, because I'm going to tell you what, if they don't want to be there, you don't want them there.
Yeah,
You don't
because
want
it costs money. I mean, they have a certain threshold, and once you reach that, you got to pay more. So if they put you on ignore, on to the next person, right? We don't care.
Absolutely. You know what? I've got
I
more.
mean, we care, but you know what I mean.
Sure. Well, because what is it they say? You knock on 1,000 doors, right? And even if one answers, that might be your big one, right? But if you're knocking, they close the door, say, okay, thanks, keep on going. So that's really what it is. You've got to make sure that who we're talking to, where do they hang out? Are we in their playland? Do we go to where they are at? And then all of a sudden, let's get real to it. Are you actually speaking their language? So then the second thing we covered was to make sure that we're speaking to them, right? Do we really want to know what their pain is so that we can solve it? I keep telling people all the time, when people cut their fingers or cut the tip of their finger off or whatever, right? They don't want you to say, let me call somebody. Let's see if we can find you somebody. No, you know what the first thing is? That give me a Band-Aid. They want you to stop the pain. They want you to stop the bleeding. I tell my doctors all the time, they say, are you allergic to anything? Pain. If it's pain, trust me, I'm allergic to pain, because you know what? I want it to stop instantaneously. If I could call the doctor and said, I'm in this much pain, and if he said, Melinda, touch your forehead and then, touch your cheekbone and that'll stop the pain, I do it right then and there. If it's pain, let's just take care of it, right? And that's really what entrepreneurs and business owners, especially right now, people are out there, they're going, oh my God, they're in a lot of pain. They're in a lot of pain. People are scrambling. Brick and mortar has been down for what, a month now? Isn't that right, Mary? Just about a month?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just around there. And of course, how long is it going to go? And then you have to go back in, you're going to have to clean everything, and you're going to have to do all the preparations to get back into momentum. And for some of those people who fired employees so that they could, make other arrangements and things like this, now they're going to have to get back and hire those employees. And now they're going to have to get back and find those connections that they had. And hey, by the way, are you still wanting to honor the contract that we signed? Are you still willing to do all that? So people are really looking for, how do I make it work now?
One of the interesting things I had happen to me yesterday, speaking of speaking the language, okay, so when you said that, my first thought was, yeah, if I see something on Facebook that's in Spanish, well, I just move on to the next thing because I don't speak that language. But I think what Melinda's trying to say here is speak the language that they're looking for, not necessarily English or Spanish, but what's important to them. Are they in pain? Then you need to speak that language. I can help you. I'm the doctor that can help you get over that pain. So yesterday, my YMCA called me. Now they sent me emails and I ignored them. I did see them come in, but I'm busy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They called me and said, if you stay with us, if you continue paying us your monthly fee for the YMCA, we're going to take that money and feed people. We're not going to take any money for ourselves. We're going to use it to feed people. That's my language, okay? I will never leave them now, ever.
That's
Now,
right.
I'm not saying you have to do anything that's, that cost you that much money, but that's their language that they connected with me. Okay,
Well, and
because they want to help people.
absolutely. And that's really when I say, you're absolutely right, man. When I say language, I want you to reach them where they are, what their mind is on, what they're thinking about, and are they really have something that you can do with. One of the things that I tell my clients and anybody that talks to me is that I'm more like the Tina Turner type coach, type of consultant. I go in there and I'm going to say, this is what I see, this is how you can fix it, and this is how we can start. I don't bring you flowers. I will not sing you love songs. I am not going to make it pretty. And in reality, I'm going to tell you straight out, this is why you're having such great difficulties. I'm not going to say, oh, well, maybe we could. No, let's get to it. You're paying me for a service, or you want to work with me on a service. You need to know who I am so that I know who you are, and it can be a successful connection. Right? And you have to find out that. You have to.
Uh-oh, Melinda's having some audio issues. Maybe she'll come back here in a minute. So, Melinda, if you can hear me, you have frozen. And I know that the internet has some issues. So I'm sure that she's going to come back here in a minute. So while she's gone, we'll continue on. I really like what Melinda's talking about right now, because I feel like when you connect with me and speak my language, I'm with you. Okay. Just like the YMCA story I was telling you earlier, there is no way I will ever leave them unless they do something horrible, right? Because they left a really good taste in my mouth. They reached out to me and said, look, I want to help people. Are you with me? And I said, yes. So,
okay, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. You know what? I'm out here in Green Acres and the squirrel wasn't running fast enough. Are we back? I am so sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
It's okay. I took care of it. It's all right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So let's see if we can get back. We were talking their language, correct?
Yes, I was saying I'll never leave the YMCA now because they left such a good taste in my mouth. They spoke my language. So let me ask you, Melinda, how do you find out what your target market's language is? How do you figure that out?
You listen to them. Listen, one of the things that I do is I go out, and the person that I think, I call it an avatar. Everybody calls it target market, whatever you want to call them. I like the avatar because they're the big blue people in that movie, the Avatar, right? There's something so much bigger, and they're out there. And here's the thing. Entrepreneurs, people in business, Pepsi, Coke, corporations, it doesn't matter who it is, they have to see what the need is. How do you do that? You go out and you listen. You listen.
Okay, so let's take me for an example with the YMCA. How do they listen to me? How do they know what my language is?
They probably have good researchers. They probably notice what you already do in your activities. They may have done some follow-ups. Better yet, they may have sent you emails before that said, hey, we're considering to donate, or we're donating this, this, and this. And you jumped back on that. You wrote back and said, oh, yes, I'll help you donate. I'll help you work on that. So they already have that in their records. They already have what you responded to, right? So at first, you're going out there to kind of say, hey, is anybody looking for this? You put the little flag up, or you ask a good question. I always like to going out there and asking a question. When I'm looking for something from my email list or from friends, I'll say, do you know anybody that might like this? Or do you know anybody that could, what do you think about that? I bounce it off of a couple of people. I have the ideas, and I say, what are we looking at? Could we do this instead? So when we do that, that helps. I like having a circle tribe and then a bigger tribe. I have an inner circle group that I bounce ideas off all the time. We go back and forth. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? How did you do this? What did you think about that? And then when you find out what's out there, you make it work. You jump on that, you create, you feel the pain thing. I think the man's name is Michael Benchwork. I'll have to find out. I'll put it out there for sure. And I have the quote on Melinda Cooper's page, Facebook page right now. And it says, pain is what forces you to move forward. Pain does, okay? That pulls you through it. Isn't that interesting, right? At first you're going because you're in so much pain and you're like, oh my God, I just want to stop the pain, right? And then the next thing you have, right, is, oh my God, a solution. What did you say? I'm going with that person. They have a solution that I love or I can work with or I'm willing to support. That's a solution and it pulls you through. It's kind of like a long time ago, when my children were very small, we would talk about big dreams. We would talk about very big dreams. And when we did, I would say, okay, then one day, I don't think I will ever forget it. My son was all of, a ripe old age of 19, and he was up at George Washington University, and we went to go visit him. And he was talking about some people that he met and different things. And all of a sudden, I just gave him a look. I'm a mom. What can I say? I had those mom looks. And he looked at me and he said, it may have started out as your dream. He says, but I own it now. It's my dream. Okay. First was for him, it was the pain of doing it. Mom says I have to do this. Mom says I have to do this as a little kid, right? And as he grew, he began to see how big that dream could take him. And so he took the dream himself. And he is skyrocketing, right? And that's what this is about. You go out there and you find out what they need. And do you have the solution to that? They're already talking to you, Marion. They're already telling you what they want. You just got to listen. You got to look. Go watch people on Facebook. Go watch people on LinkedIn. Go with Twitter, whatever your social media is. See what they're talking about. See what their solution is. See what questions. Listen to them. They will tell you what they need.
And this is how we plant our money tree. We listen. And then we act on that.
We nurture it. We water it. We water it. We prune it.
There you go.
Find out what's working, not working, which is where, when we go to the email list, let's go back again one more time, get back on track. Sorry about the internet thing. But here's the thing. We find out who the person is that we believe we have a solution for. Second off, we go ahead and talk their language, see if that's really what they want, or we just imagined it and gosh, it looked like you needed that and you don't need that, right? And then third off, when we find out what they really need or how we can really help them, which is more, how can we be of service to them? Then we find out where they're going to be. And we go and we talk to them there on where they are. Because you know what? Nobody ever comes knocking at my door. There's not an entrepreneur that comes out to Green Acres and says, hey, Melinda, I heard you had this. Can we talk? No, they don't do that. I have to go out there. I have to be online. I have to be wherever. And then they say, oh, hey, Melinda, that sounds like something I could use. Okay. So we have to be where they are, not them. When we get large enough and we're a Pepsi, we're a Coke, we're a Walmart. Yeah, people will come to us, but we're not there yet, folks. So let's be realistic. We have to go ahead and be where they are. Okay. Then finally, the thing is that when we're there, we have to remember what kind of emails we're sending. Now, if you recall correctly, I stated last week that, everybody does emails differently. You're building a relationship. You're grateful that they're there. Here's your gift. Whatever reason you signed up, here's what I promised you. Guess what? Oh, this is what I promised you I would give you. Ebook, checklist, video, connection, name. It does not matter. Here's what I promised that I would give you. Give it to them. Hello, thank you so much. I'm glad you did this. Here it is. Here's your whatever. So you have to be upfront and have integrity and be honest and say, this is what I'm going to give you. Here it is. Right? Because everybody likes working with people who are honest and have integrity. I know I do. Right? So now that you have that, then you also have to say, you know what? Maybe since you looked for this, maybe you want something else that I could help you with. Come out. And what are you doing? You're driving back to your website or back to you, right? Give them links. Come out and join me here. Come out and see me here. Oh, is this your platform? Come join me out here, right? Come join me out. I'm sending you this. Come on out. Let's talk a little bit more. Come on out. Hey, how about a free session? Let's have a consultation. Let's talk about a strategy call. Let's figure out really how deep we can help each other, right? Then be willing to go ahead and say, you know what? I have collaborating partners. Oh, you want a live show? Talk to Marion LaSalle. I can make that connection for you. No problem. Here's Marion. She's show production. She can get you going. Not my field, not anything I want to do, not anything that I'm going to do. So go ahead and give it to the lady who can do it, loves doing it, and is out there showing people how to do it. Because you know what? We can't be experts in everything. I'd love to say that we could. Marion, what do you think? Could we be experts in everything?
Well, Kathleen Hayes seems to think that you're a rock star.
She is a wonderful
Not
person.
soft rock, okay? A hard rock star. There you go. The Tina Turner kind.
That's right. I don't do anything nice and easy, right?
That's
because she and I have worked for years. We're good friends, and I got to tell you something. She is one of the people that if I don't have an answer, I run out and get an answer. Right? The other day, I got to tell you, I'm going to give my good friend a plug. My friend's name is Dean Lindsay. And by far, he's one of the best speakers I've ever met. And he is I call him a person's person. You go to him, you're very comfortable in speaking to him. And he called me up the other day straight out. Hey, Melinda. Hey, Dean, what's up? Right? And instantaneously, he has something new going. I won't spread the word, but he does have something new going. And do you know, he called me.
You won't spread the word for your friend? That's weird.
Well, because he's not ready to unveil it yet.
Ah, okay. There you go.
I'm not spilling his secret. Okay. That's right. I'm not spilling his secret. But the whole thing is that I was absolutely honored that he called me. But you know what I did? I'm not the person for you, but guess what? I got some other people who are. I instantly started connecting him with the people that I could. Don't hesitate to connect. Be the connector. Whoever you are, wherever you are, if you have somebody that can help somebody else, make that happen. Because guess what you become?
The expert. Yes. The go-to person.
Go-to. You're the resource. You're absolutely right, Marion. Go-to. I hate to tell you how many times a week people say, Melinda, do you know anybody that does what, da, 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 da? Oh, yes, I do. Let me tell you who they are.
I got 2 of those yesterday. Do you know anybody? How do I do? Yeah. I send them up. That's right. I don't do that. Could I? Yes. Do I want to? Right. So that's a big pot that that we could even talk a whole show on is do what you love and farm out the rest. Do what you do best and farm out the rest is my quote. Because if you try to do everything for everybody, you kind of get diluted. And then you don't do everything, the way it should be done. And then you start looking, you start feeling bad about it, honestly.
Well, and you look a little shabby. You look ragged at the end. Oh my gosh, she's always tired because she's always doing something
under her eyes because she's been working too hard.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, this is living the dream, not living the nightmare. I got to do what I love because otherwise I'm living somebody else's nightmare.
Oh, look, Jane says you make it seem easy.
Oh, thank you. I love it. Mwah, thank you. But it really is when you love it. I used to laugh at people that said, when you love what you're doing, you never have a day at work, right? I would dare say that you do have a lot of days that are work, but what you do is that you love it, that it doesn't seem so drudging. It doesn't feel like you're dragging a huge chain. By the time I was leaving my job, I actually one day, I don't think I'll ever forget it. My husband says, "Okay, it's time to get up. Let's go to work." And I'm like, "No." And he says, "Come on, baby, we're going to be late." I was like, "No." And he says, he's like, I mean, literally, I stayed right there. And I'm hanging on to the blankets. I'm a grown woman, and I'm hanging on to the blankets. And I said, "No." And I started to cry. I said, "Please don't make me go." And he looked at me and he says, "Honey, we're married. I'm not going to make you do that." He says, "But did
it's
something
time to
happen?
Get up. Come on."
Yeah. He's like, "Did something happen that I missed?" And I said, "Yes. Yesterday I decided I don't want to live that nightmare anymore." And he looked at me, his eyes got real big.
I bet.
He says, take today and I will talk. Well, let's talk about this tonight because I still have to get up and go to work. So I sure did. I rolled over, I called in, said, I just can't make it today. And that evening we decided together that that was the last month I would be working. And I put in my resignation papers. So, sometimes we have to just flat out be the person who's willing to share other people, let them do what they do, and you do what you do.
I
Stay in your
agree.
lane and do the best that you can do with what you do. And guess what? That will make a bigger positive ripple than you could ever imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I
agree.
love connecting people. Is that part of living the dream? You bet it is. You bet it is because I'm in the people business. I'm here serving people. I'm here helping people. How can I help you? What do you need help with? Let's see what we can make this work together. Who do you need to know? That is what I love doing. That's the best part of living the dream. Talking to people and finding out how I can help. And I say that all the time. How can I help you? How can we help you? Right? Because that's what it's about. So now you know that you have to go ahead and tell them what you have. Say thank you for being here. Here's what I gave you. By the way, do you have something else? Maybe go check it out, see what else I have that can help you, right? Finally, I don't do that, but I have somebody who else does that. Let me go ahead and show you who my collaborating partners are. Let's go ahead and make this work for you next, right? So you're doing that. Finally, the very last thing that I really want to talk about is that please do not hammer them. Do not hammer them with emails. I have signed up to people that I have thought, oh my God, that is such an interesting, I'm going to join their email because it's so interesting. Then the next day, I have what seems to be 3 different letters, 3 different emails, 3 different topics. Then the next day, I have another 3, then another 3. And I'm like, yo, I just wanted this topic. I did not want 3 of everything that I don't want, right? So instantly I start deleting, I put them over to spam, I start moving them over. I'm like, no. Finally, I'm like, okay, God, I just got to delete them. I got to unsubscribe. If there's an opportunity, say, I only want to hear from you once a week, push that button. And when you unsubscribe, clearly say, you know what, excuse me, let me see why they unsubscribed. And for those who unsubscribe and you don't have an answer, you can write back and say, you know what, I appreciate you. I'm glad that you unsubscribed. Could you please give me some insight so that I can grow and improve my own business? And tell me why you decided to unsubscribe. Right? You're looking just for an answer that can help you grow and help them grow. Because if they were looking for one thing and after they got that, I'm done, well, maybe I have something else that you didn't see. Right? So what do you think, Marion? Do you think a good follow-up email would help?
I don't know if I would answer that or not. If I unsubscribe from something, I'm done probably.
Well, okay,
So I don't know if you can
you
even
don't
get through.
maybe you don't need the unsubscribe. I will tell you that I did get an email and I thought this was the best thing. And the email said, we've noticed you have not opened any of our emails.
Now that I would respond to, but
Okay,
I
in the
think if I
subline, it says,
unsubscribe,
yeah, no, but in the email subject line, it said, you have not opened any emails. Why? That was the subject line.
okay. Now I would go for that.
Okay, so then,
I might send back and say, well, it's because I'm busy or whatever.
right, but you get it. You have that. But here's something that most people don't realize. In the emails that you're sending, in your email sequence, why don't you ask, is this working for you? Is there something else you would like inside this?
Oh,
Is there
yes.
something
Now
that,
that I align with. Ask me
is
what
there
I'm looking
something,
for. Is
that's
it
right. Is there,
something I feel good about? Are you
mhm,
giving me what I need? That I would definitely respond to.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I send out one and it says, oh my gosh, it's April. What do you need today? That is my subject line. I'll hit it for May and I'll say, we're bringing up the spring flowers. What's popping up for you that I need to help you with? All
You
right.
know, it's wonderful to be here, and we appreciate everybody who comes and watches. Where there are replays, we'd love it if you could share this message out with your community. We're here every single Tuesday at 9 o'clock Central Time. We're live. If you have a question for Melinda or you have a topic that you'd like her to cover, she'd be more than willing. As you can tell, she's asking and she wants to give you what it is you're interested in. So thanks again for coming and
Oh, no.
hanging out with Living the Dream Business.
Are you saying it's time for us to go? I'm so sorry. Come join me at Living the Dream Business over on Facebook. I'm Melinda Cooper on Facebook, on LinkedIn, www.livingthedreambusiness.com. Come join us. We're always excited to help and see how we can help you grow. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Marion.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.